The Las Vegas Raiders have signed Hunter Renfrow to a 2-year contract extension. No, not Hunter Renfrow, the baseball player. Hunter Renfrow, the freaking football player. Hunter Renfrow has signed this new deal. It is a 2-year extension worth up to $32 million. And Derek Carr has said that he thinks this is going to happen. Derek Carr manifested this. Pretty insane to see Derek Carr have a lot of control over the roster. Never really expected this, especially having a new coaching staff. Now, it was months ago when on Twitter, people were said, oh, Deebo Samuel to the Raiders, Deebo Samuel to the Raiders, because whenever any player is trending, you say insert player name to Raiders. That's going to happen on Twitter. And Derek Carr responded to a tweet and said, hey, no, that's Hunter Renfrow money. And it was interesting. Whoa, does this guy really have this much cachet with this organization? Can this guy really affect Josh McDaniels and Ziegler's wallet? Does Derek Carr have control of their wallet like that? And it turns out he does, because they just paid the slot machine Hunter mother effing Renfrow. And by the way, if you want to learn more about Hunter Renfrow, check out our film, How Hunter Renfrow Broke the NFL. The link is in the pinned comment below. It is a fire banger film. A lot of work went into it. And hey, if you haven't already, like this current video, subscribe, and ring the bell to get notifications to find out more Las Vegas Raiders news. We're going to talk more about this contract extension and how it affects the Raiders and the backstory around it. Now, Hunter Renfrow is receiving a $32 million contract. $21 million are guaranteed. This is a really interesting deal. It is still slightly team friendly. I know the cap hit is high. You know, when you're making that much money, what is this, like roughly $16 million a year? But think about it. He's a 5th round pick. Prior to this season, I don't think he ever made more than $1 million in a single year prior to the season, because he's a 5th round pick. And that same thing kind of happened with Max Crosby. He was roughly like $1 million, $2 million. I think his highest was $4 million just this last year. That's what happens when you're picked up late, diamond in the rough. And I know a lot of people want to say, oh, Gruden and Mayock, they can't draft. They draft Lynn Bowden. They draft Tanner Muse. They draft Netway. They draft Henry Ruggs, who could have been dope if he didn't mess up. But I know people want to say that, but hey, when you got people like Max Crosby and Hunter Renfrow later on in the draft, in the 5th round, I think if you go up to any GM and you look them in the face in the confessional, they'll say, man, the Raiders killed it in the 5th or 4th round in 2019. I would take a player like Hunter Renfrow, probably, honestly, in the 2nd round, maybe 3rd round, maybe even a late 1st for some teams. I mean, Hunter Renfrow is proving to be really that guy. He just made the Pro Bowl last year. We know he burned Jalen Ramsey in 2021, which is always pretty funny to see during practice. And another thing, man, he's getting the attention of so many defenses in the NFL. When Darren Waller was out, I mean, it was pretty much the Hunter Renfrow show last year, and defenses would go and double Hunter Renfrow, and that created problems for our team, because it seemed like we didn't really have many options outside of Hunter Renfrow until Zay Jones started heating up towards the back end of the year. But interesting to see, like, would you ever have thought that going into like the 2021 season, we had Brian Edwards, Henry Ruggs, and Hunter Renfrow, and Darren Waller. In 2021, out of all 4 of those guys, would you ever think Hunter Renfrow would be the guy who we extend first, right? I know technically we extended Waller in 2019, but you know what I'm saying, right? Hunter Renfrow outlasted all these guys on this team, and it's really interesting to see, and that's why I do like that film, and I do like his underdog story. You know, he was a walk-on at Clemson and a 5th round pick. Size issues, people are really making fun of him with how he looks. Did horrible at the Senior Bowl measurement contest, bad at the combine, but still is a Pro Bowler and really one of the best slot wide receivers in the NFL, getting Cooper Kupp type money. 2021, he had his best season in the NFL to date. He was pretty healthy most of the year, picking up 104 receptions. And Tim Brown had that in 1997. Renfrow breaking records as a Raider, and it's crazy. You never think this, and I always think about this because there's record books and stats, and I do think it's annoying we have an extra game in the NFL because I think it sort of messes up the stat book and the record book and everything like that. But it's crazy, like, to think that we have somebody like Hunter Renfrow on our team who's had 104 receptions or 3 receptions in a single season. This guy's going to go down in the record book. When you're looking at the record book for receptions in a season 10 years down the road, Hunter Renfrow's name is going to be at the top of the list, like next to Tim Brown. That's insane to think that we're living in sort of this record-breaking history with the Raiders. And, you know, I also want to say this too, Derek Carr, like, basically when you look at the Raiders records, especially in passing later down the road, Derek Carr's number one in almost every category in career passing yards and TDs, in attempts and games with the Raiders. Derek Carr, like, when it's all said and done, might be the all-time Raiders QB in terms of statistics, whether you guys like it or not. He really is that guy and holds those numbers. So we are living in history right now. It's basically what I want to say. And it's crazy to see us have so many people who break so many records. So we had an extension for Carr, right? And Carr said he wanted to keep his guys. He originally said back in February that there's some guys I want to play with. That's why we got to work out my extension in a particular way. And just a few days ago at the opening of minicamp, he said him, Crosby, right, and Devontae structured their contracts in a way to keep everybody. And it seems like they're en route to keep everybody. Everything that Derek Carr has said has become true, right? So we'll see what happens here. Will Darren Waller get the extension as well? If we could lock up Darren Waller along with Renfrow, we already have Adams, we already have obviously Crosby and Chandler on the other side. If we could do that, and then Moreau, remember, Carr also said, hey, Moreau is a guy that I want to keep as well. He's really good friends with him. I mean, on Instagram and stuff, you could see Carr hanging out with Moreau a lot. And I mean, we'll see what happens. If every single thing happens, it'll be like, wow, how much respect does Derek Carr have in this organization? And this really just shows like how much respect Derek Carr has around the NFL. Think about it. Josh McDaniels has never coached Derek Carr. He's just been watching from afar, and he's been an admirer. And a lot of people always want to crap on Carr. You know, there's trade rumors every year, and it's like, oh, he's the worst QB in the division, and blah, 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 blah. I mean, even Raiders fans crap on Derek Carr. But then now that you're seeing basically Ziegler and McDaniels do whatever the hell Carr wants, really, at least for the next 3 years, they've done that. You have to think, like, how do other GMs think about this guy? Do other GMs look at this guy and say, hey, yo, if I had him at quarterback, I'd let him make my roster moves? And look, I don't think it's always been this case. I think since 2020, Derek Carr has significantly improved in terms of stats, really just his output. And then maybe that's generating the respect where you got, you know, a GM and then also a head coach like Josh McDaniels who's willing to do whatever Derek Carr wants, whatever he wants, and trusting his judgment. If Derek Carr says Hunter Renfrow is the guy, I want to structure my contract in a way so we can keep that guy, yo, and they listen, this guy must command a lot of respect around the NFL. And Derek Carr has made comments saying that he's got friends all the time hitting him up saying, hey, let's go make a bowl run here. And he's even gone as far as to say I could have won a couple championships, but he wants to be a Raider for life, wants to do it here. And hey, maybe he wants more control of this organization, and that's exactly what he's getting. And I'm glad that McDaniels and Ziegler are obliging him and signing great players like Hunter Renfrow, because Hunter Renfrow, I mean, has he ever been a character issue? It's not like he's Netway, you know what I mean? Like, he has no problems like that, and he's still balling out and making Pro Bowls. I mean, that's just sort of hard to find, somebody like having a clean record and also performing very well. Unfortunately, at least for the Raiders, I mean, it's been hard to find in the draft, right? I mean, 2020 draft, and then there's the Len Bowdens, there's the Tanner Muse. There's all these things, right? So Renfrow was in the final year of his rookie contract, and now he's locked in for 2 more years. So basically, he'll likely play out the rest of his rookie contract this year, and then you have 2023 and 2024 where this contract kicks in. This $21 million guaranteed, roughly $16 to $17 million a year. Then, you know, 2025, you have to make a decision on Hunter Renfrow. Hunter Renfrow, I believe, is 24 years old right now. So basically, we're going to have him on the team until he's roughly 27, 28 years old. So we're going to get to know Hunter Renfrow for a long time. And I don't know about you guys, but I think I'm going to go buy a mother effing Hunter Renfrow jersey right now. I mean, that's the thing. When you're a Raiders fan, actually, Hunter Renfrow is 26 years old. So Hunter Renfrow, not the youngest guy anymore after being in the NFL for a little bit of time. 26 years old. So when this is said and done, he'll be 29, 30. So we're gonna see and I know we always think he's 30 because he's got the kind of slightly receding hairline, but now we're going to see the 30-year-old Renfrow as a Raider, basically, because he's locked in for 3 to 4 years, and that's cool to see. But yeah, I think I'm going to buy a Hunter Renfrow jersey because I know how you guys feel, man. You buy a jersey, and you wonder, is this guy going to be on the team? Is he going to be traded? Is he going to pull an AB? I mean, I feel really bad for all the people who buy AB jerseys, and I was this close to freaking doing it. I didn't have the cash at the time, so I didn't do it. But now, we can safely buy a Carr jersey. We can safely buy a Devontae jersey. We could safely buy a Crosby jersey, Chandler Jones jersey, and now a Hunter Renfrow jersey. And what I am hoping next, and let me know in the comments, will the Raiders get it done with Darren Waller? You know, he's making $9 million a year. So basically, no, he's making $7 million. Darren Waller's making $7 million a year, and Hunter Renfrow's making $16 million. So you tell me if Darren Waller's underpaid, like 7 million versus 17. I hope we get it done with Darren Waller, guys. Hey, like this video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the Raiders Rundown for more Raiders content and news. This is WiFiWillie. Peace out, and I hope you have a good one.